In the next few minutes, I'm going to expose 10 milk brands hiding antibiotics, growth hormones, and synthetic vitamins behind their farm-fresh promises. Plus, I'll reveal the 5 brands that actually deliver pure, clean milk without the hidden dangers. Stay until the end because number 2 on our avoid list has been caught in multiple quality scandals, and you need to know about it before your next grocery run. Let's start by checking what's sitting in your refrigerator right now. Number 10, Great Value Milk. Walmart's house brand milk is engineered for one thing: maximum profit margins. When you pour this milk into your glass, you're getting ultra-processed dairy from massive factory farms where thousands of cows never see pasture. Great value sources from industrial mega dairies where cows receive RBST, a synthetic growth hormone banned in Europe, Canada, and Australia. Research published in the International Journal of Health Sciences shows RBST increases IGF-1 levels in milk, a compound that scientists have linked to increased cancer cell growth in laboratory studies. The milk tastes watery and oddly sweet because it's been ultra-pasteurized at temperatures so high it destroys beneficial enzymes and proteins. Your body needs to digest dairy properly. Customer complaints are consistent. Milk spoils days before the expiration date, strange chemical aftertaste, and that telltale watery texture. That rock-bottom price comes from cutting corners on animal welfare, quality control, and nutritional integrity. Number 9. Dean's Milk Dean. Food sources from confined feeding operations where cows live on concrete, fed grain instead of grass, pumped with antibiotics to survive overcrowded conditions. The milk often has an off flavor that consumers describe as slightly sour or metallic even when fresh. Studies in the Journal of Dairy Science found that milk transported over long distances from industrial farms contains higher bacterial loads than locally sourced alternatives. Dean's uses ultra-high temperature processing that destroys the natural enzyme lactase that helps many people digest dairy. That's why customers complain about stomach upset, bloating, and digestive distress after drinking Dean's, even though they tolerate other milk brands just fine. The company has faced multiple lawsuits for deceptive labeling practices, including claims about natural milk that actually came from hormone-treated cows. Number 8, Kemp's Milk. Kemp's markets itself as wholesome Midwestern dairy, but the reality behind the label tells a different story. This brand sources from large-scale dairies where antibiotic use remains standard practice for infection control in overcrowded conditions. While the antibiotics themselves are required to clear the system before milking, the residual effects on the cows and milk quality remain a concern for food safety experts. Open a carton and you'll notice the milk separates quickly, forming a watery layer at the bottom. This indicates poor homogenization quality in milk that's been sitting in distribution longer than fresh milk should. The cream doesn't rise naturally because it's been mechanically blasted apart, destroying the natural fat structure that makes milk nutritious. Kemp's also adds synthetic vitamin D3 and vitamin A palmitate to replace nutrients destroyed during aggressive heat processing. Research in food chemistry shows synthetic vitamin additions don't absorb as efficiently as naturally occurring vitamins found in grass-fed dairy. Consumer reviews consistently mention a chalky aftertaste and milk that spoils unpredictably. That inconsistency screams quality control problems at the processing level. Number 7. Borden Milk. Borden filed for bankruptcy in 2020, which should tell you something about their business practices. The company sources from industrial dairy operations where cows consume feed grown with glyphosate-based herbicides. Studies published in Environmental Health found glyphosate residues can transfer into milk, exposing consumers to chemical herbicides through their daily dairy intake. The milk has a distinctly flat, lifeless taste because it undergoes extreme processing to extend shelf life for long-distance distribution. Borden adds natural flavors to some milk varieties without clearly disclosing what those flavors contain. Industry insiders reveal that natural flavors in dairy often means MSG derivatives or yeast extracts designed to mask the flat taste of overprocessed milk. Customers report frequent spoilage issues, with milk turning chunky or developing off smells days before the printed expiration date. Number 6. Horizon Organic Milk, regular line. While technically organic, Horizon operates massive industrial dairy farms where thousands of cows live in confinement with minimal pasture access. An investigation by the Cornucopia Institute found that Horizon's large-scale operations barely meet organic standards, keeping cows in crowded conditions with limited grazing time. Real organic dairy should come from cows spending most of their lives on pasture, eating fresh grass. The milk undergoes ultra-pasteurization, which is why it stays shelf-stable for months. But that extreme heat destroys the beneficial bacteria, enzymes, and delicate proteins that make organic milk nutritionally superior. Studies show ultra-pasteurized milk loses up to 25% of its B vitamin content compared to regular pasteurization. You're paying premium organic prices for milk that's been nutritionally compromised by aggressive processing. Number 5. Lucerne Milk, Safeway, Albertsons. Lucerne is built on cutting costs rather than delivering quality. This milk comes from large dairy cooperatives where hormone use remains common and cows rarely see daylight. The milk often arrives at stores already days old from centralized processing plants hundreds of miles away. That's why customers frequently report milk going sour 3 or 4 days before the expiration date. Lucerne milk has a distinctly thin, almost watery consistency because it's been aggressively skimmed and recombined with just enough fat to meet the percentage on the label. This mechanical separation destroys the natural fat globule structure that makes milk creamy and satisfying. Taste tests reveal a subtle but noticeable plastic-like aftertaste, especially in the whole milk variety. Consumer reports show inconsistent quality between batches, indicating poor quality control from source to shelf. Number 4. Prairie Farms Milk. Prairie Farms operates across the Midwest with a friendly, farm-focused image. But the reality behind their operation raises serious concerns. This brand sources from both small farms and large industrial dairies, creating wildly inconsistent quality depending on which facility processes your particular carton. Investigation by food safety advocates found that Prairie Farms has had multiple bacterial contamination incidents at various processing plants, including listeria findings that triggered internal recalls. While the company addressed the issues, the pattern suggests systemic quality control problems. The milk often has a slightly sour smell even when fresh, a sign that bacterial counts were elevated before pasteurization. Studies show that milk from stressed cows in overcrowded facilities naturally contains higher bacteria levels because the animal's immune systems are compromised. Prairie Farms adds carrageenan to some milk varieties as a thickening agent. Research published in Food and Chemical Toxicology links carrageenan to digestive inflammation, especially concerning for children and anyone with sensitive stomachs. It's an unnecessary additive that exists purely to create artificial thickness. Customers frequently complain about early spoilage in milk that smells off despite being within date. Number 3. Clover Sonoma Milk, conventional line. Clover Sonoma has organic options that are decent, but their conventional line is a completely different story. This milk comes from cows treated with RBST growth hormones to maximize production. Health researchers warn that RBST-treated cows produce milk with elevated levels of IGF-1, a growth factor that studies have associated with increased tumor growth in cell cultures. The conventional Clover Sonoma milk undergoes aggressive homogenization that breaks fat molecules into unnaturally tiny particles. Research and medical hypotheses suggest this ultra-homogenization allows milk proteins to enter the bloodstream more easily, potentially increasing allergic reactions and digestive problems. Customer reviews mention frequent digestive upset, even from people who normally tolerate dairy well. That's a red flag that something in the processing is damaging the milk's natural structure. Clover Sonoma also sources from conventional dairies where antibiotic use for mastitis prevention is standard practice. While the antibiotics clear before milking, the stress on cows from chronic infections creates lower quality milk with reduced nutritional value. The milk tastes overly sweet and slightly artificial, suggesting quality issues with feed or processing shortcuts. Number 2. Oak Farms. Milk Oak Farms has been caught in multiple quality scandals over the years, and their milk reflects those ongoing problems. In 2018, the company faced lawsuits over misleading local claims when their milk actually came from factory farms, hundreds of miles away. That dishonesty extends to their current practices. The milk frequently arrives at stores with inconsistent fat content, sometimes tasting watery, other times strangely thick. This happens when quality control fails at the processing level, allowing batches with improper standardization to reach consumers. Oak Farm sources from mega dairies where cows consume GMO corn and soy feeds sprayed with glyphosate. Research in Environmental Sciences Europe found that glyphosate residues accumulate in dairy cows and transfer into milk. You're getting traces of herbicide in every glass. Consumer complaints are relentless. Early spoilage, sour taste even when fresh, and milk that separates into layers in the carton. Food safety experts say layering indicates poor homogenization or milk that sat too long before processing. The company has faced bacterial contamination issues at processing facilities, including elevated coliform bacteria counts that triggered internal quality alerts. Number 1. Fairlife Milk. The worst offender on our list. Fairlife markets itself as premium, protein-enhanced milk, but what they're really selling is ultra-processed dairy manipulation. This isn't milk anymore. It's a laboratory product that's been mechanically separated, filtered, and reconstructed with added synthetic ingredients. Fairlife undergoes extreme ultrafiltration that strips away natural milk structure, then adds back synthetic proteins and nutrients. Food scientists warn this level of processing destroys the natural synergy of nutrients that makes whole milk nutritious. The brand faced massive public backlash in 2019 after undercover footage revealed horrific animal abuse at a Fairlife supplier farm. Calves were kicked, thrown, and beaten by workers, while the company claimed high welfare standards. That disconnect between marketing and reality should concern anyone buying their products. Fairlife milk tastes unnaturally thick and sweet because they've removed lactose and added artificial thickening through filtration. The price is astronomical compared to real milk, yet you're getting less nutritional value because the processing destroys natural enzymes and beneficial bacteria. Consumers report digestive problems, bloating, and inflammatory reactions despite Fairlife's lactose-free claims. This is science experiment milk designed for profit margin. The 5 brands you should buy instead. Now that we've cleared your refrigerator of questionable milk, let's talk about the brands that actually deserve your money. These 5 brands deliver pure, clean milk from healthy, well-treated cows without the industrial shortcuts and hidden dangers. Number 5. Alexandria Family Farm. Alexandria Family Farm delivers genuinely organic, grass-fed milk from cows that spend their lives on pasture. When you open this carton, you immediately notice the cream layer on top because this milk isn't aggressively homogenized. That natural separation is actually a sign of quality and minimal processing. The farm maintains a closed herd, meaning cows are born and raised on the property rather than purchased from factory auctions. This drastically reduces disease exposure and eliminates the need for preventive antibiotics. Studies in the Journal of Dairy Research found that closed herd dairy operations produce milk with significantly lower bacterial counts and higher beneficial fatty acid profiles. The milk tastes rich, naturally sweet, and incredibly creamy because these cows eat fresh grass year-round in Northern California's ideal climate. Research shows grass-fed milk contains up to 5 times more conjugated linoleic acid, CLA, than grain-fed milk, a beneficial fat linked to reduced inflammation and improved metabolism. Alexandria uses low-temperature vat pasteurization that kills harmful bacteria while preserving beneficial enzymes and proteins. This gentle processing keeps the milk nutritionally alive rather than creating a dead, shelf-stable product. Yes, it costs more than industrial milk, but you're paying for genuine organic practices, exceptional animal welfare, and milk that actually nourishes rather than just filling your glass with processed dairy. Number 4. Kelowna Supernatural. Kelowna Supernatural comes from small family farms in Iowa where cows graze on chemical-free pasture. This brand uses cream-top bottling, leaving milk non-homogenized so the natural cream rises to the top. That might look unusual if you're used to factory milk, but it's exactly how milk should look when it hasn't been mechanically destroyed. The company uses low-temperature pasteurization that maintains milk's natural enzyme structure. Research in food chemistry found that low-temp pasteurization preserves up to 90% of beneficial enzymes compared to ultra-pasteurization, which destroys nearly everything. Kelowna milk has a naturally sweet, clean taste with no off flavors or chemical aftertaste. That's what real milk tastes like when it comes from healthy cows eating their natural diet. The milk stays fresh for the entire shelf life because it starts with higher quality from better treated animals. The brand maintains full transparency about their farmer network, processing methods, and animal welfare standards. Unlike corporate dairy brands that hide their sourcing, Kelowna openly shares where your milk comes from and how it's produced. For families wanting genuinely natural milk without industrial processing, Kelowna delivers authentic dairy done right. Number 3. Maple Hill Creamery. Maple Hill holds the distinction of being 100% grass-fed certified organic, meaning every single cow in their supply network lives on pasture year-round. This isn't part-time grazing. This is full-time grass feeding, which creates dramatically different milk composition compared to grain-fed dairy. Studies published in Food Chemistry show that 100% grass-fed milk contains higher levels of omega-3 fatty acids, CLA, and vitamin K2, nutrients that most Americans don't get enough of through their regular diet. Maple Hill milk isn't just avoiding bad things, it's actively delivering superior nutrition. The milk has a rich, golden color from beta-carotene naturally present in grass. That golden tint isn't artificial coloring. It's proof that cows are eating fresh pasture instead of grain and supplements in a barn. The taste is complex, slightly nutty, and deeply satisfying in a way industrial milk never achieves. Maple Hill uses gentle pasteurization and never adds synthetic vitamins or fortification. The milk doesn't need artificial enhancement because it's naturally nutrient-dense from the cow's grass-based diet. Customer reviews consistently praise the taste, freshness, and how much better they feel drinking Maple Hill compared to conventional brands. That's real food making a real difference. Number 2, Organic Valley Grass Milk. Organic Valley has several product lines, but their grass milk is the one you want. This milk comes from cows that eat nothing but grass, hay, and forage. Zero grain, zero corn, zero supplements. That diet creates milk with optimal fatty acid ratios and higher nutrient density than any grain-fed dairy can match. Research in PLOS1 found that 100% grass-fed milk contains balanced omega-6 to omega-3 ratios, reducing inflammatory responses compared to grain-fed milk, which has skewed ratios that promote inflammation. That's a critical difference for anyone dealing with chronic inflammation or autoimmune conditions. The milk tastes clean, fresh, and incredibly creamy without being heavy. That's because the fat structure hasn't been mechanically destroyed through aggressive homogenization. Organic Valley uses gentle processing that maintains milk's natural integrity. The company sources from small family farms across America, supporting rural economies and sustainable agriculture, rather than consolidating everything into massive factory operations. That farmer network means better oversight, higher standards, and accountability that corporate megadairies can't match. For families wanting organic, grass-fed milk with legitimate farmer support and transparent sourcing, Organic Valley Grass Milk is an exceptional choice. Number 1, Strauss Family Creamery. The top spot goes to Strauss Family Creamery because they deliver the ultimate combination of organic practices, animal welfare, environmental responsibility, and incredible taste. This Northern California dairy was the first certified organic dairy west of the Mississippi, maintaining uncompromising standards for decades. Strauss cows graze on certified organic pasture year-round, producing milk with naturally higher levels of omega-3s, CLA, and antioxidants. Studies in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry confirm that organic, pasture-based dairy contains significantly higher beneficial compounds compared to conventional milk. The milk is bottled in reusable glass, eliminating plastic contamination concerns. Research shows plastic jugs can leach phthalates and microplastics into dairy. Glass bottles protect milk quality while eliminating environmental waste. Strauss uses low-temperature vat pasteurization and non-homogenization, preserving milk's natural structure and nutritional integrity. The cream rises to the top. The milk tastes rich and complex. Nothing like the flat, lifeless taste of factory dairy. Customer loyalty is remarkable. People who discover Strauss rarely go back to conventional milk because the difference is immediately obvious in taste, texture, and how they feel after drinking it. For families demanding the absolute best, clean ingredients, exceptional animal welfare, minimal processing, and outstanding taste, Strauss Family Creamery is the gold standard. There you have it, 10 milk brands filling your refrigerator with hormones, antibiotics, and ultra-processed dairy, and 5 brands that actually deliver pure, clean milk without the hidden dangers. The next time you're standing in the dairy aisle, remember, cheap milk isn't saving money if it's costing you your health. Real milk from healthy cows versus factory farm processed liquid, that's the difference that matters for your family. If this video just changed your grocery list, hit that like button and subscribe for more truth the food industry doesn't want you to know. Drop a comment telling me which brand you're ditching today and which one you're switching to. Now go check your refrigerator. Your family's health just became a whole lot better.